view of the Tower of London. One of London's oldest and most famous landmarks. It dates right back to William the Conqueror. So if you look in the centre, there's like a taller tower behind the trees, you can't really see it. It's got 4 turrets on and a flag right from the top. That dates right back to the 1070s, so it's over 900 years old. Over the years, different kings and queens have added to it, and it basically made the tower that it is today. Then have about 20 towers. Now, when the Tower of London was first built as a royal palace. But it has been lots of things. It's been a royal zoo. That is where London Zoo, it started off at the Tower of London before it moved. It's been a royal mint. It's been an armoury. It's been a prison there. We know anyone who was tried of treason, they were taken to the Tower of London. Into Traitor's Gate. Look to your right-hand side, just ahead. See that bricked-up entrance at the top? It says entry to the Traitor's Gate on our right-hand side. Now, this was known as the first one-way street in London. It was very little chance you went through this gate, you would ever come out again. So what would happen to you? Well, did you know less than 5 people had their heads chopped off at the Tower of London? That was reserved for a quarter of people. So Henry VIII, his 2 wives had their heads chopped off there. But everybody else had their heads chopped off at Tower Hill, just outside Tower of London. Because remember, back then, there was no TV. So London had to gather around there and enjoy the beheading. So it had to be chopped off. It didn't end there. It would then be dipped into very hot water, dipped into boiling tar, placed on a spike. And this spike we displayed an old London Bridge in front of us. Now look at the bridge in front, and you have to imagine this if you can, okay? The medieval version of London Bridge, the famous version, that had 19 arches on there, spanned across the Thames. On top of this bridge, you would have seen shops and houses that were 3 stories tall. In the middle was a church. Now, at the left side of the bridge, at the southern end of the bridge, was a gate. On this gate, up to 47 heads were displayed on spikes. Warning anybody entering into the city of London, if you were a traitor, this will be your fate. Now, this bridge stood for over 600 years. That is the longest any bridge has stood across the River Thames. In the 1800s, so in the Victorian times, they built another version of London Bridge. Now, the Victorians, they thought they were a bit smart, and they said, look, you know, we're smarter than these medieval folks, so our bridge we build will last 1,000 years at least. The bridge lasted for 130 years, and it started to sink into the mud. So what were they going to do with this bridge? Well, luckily, an American developer, he wanted to buy the bridge, so he paid £1 million for it. He shipped out there, another million shipped it out, stone by stone, to Lake Havasu in Arizona in the United States. London Bridge still stands there today. It's one of the most visited tourist attractions. There's actually a town that's all around London Bridge. And as I mentioned before, the bridge in front of us only dates back to 1973. Nothing special about this bridge, although when they were building it, they were going to think of putting a block of flats on top of this bridge. People were actually going to live on top of this version of London Bridge. We're going to bring it back to the medieval version of both on top of the bridges. I think that was pretty cool though, living on on your left-hand side, you've got the Shard. You may have noticed it before, this building being constructed. That went to peace in 2012 with the tallest building in Europe. It's going to be over 1,000 feet tall. And it's basically like a shard of glass, still like a spike as well. Unfortunately, 2 weeks after this building is complete, another building either either in Frankfurt or Paris is going to overtake it in height. So it'll only be the tallest building in Europe for about 2 weeks. Over on our right-hand side is the sandy-coloured building with the blue roof. That is Old Billingsgate Fish Market. That was the famous fish market for over 900 years until the market moved in 1982. Now, during the 19th and early 20th century, over 400 tons of fish were sold here every single day. It took them 3 years to get the fish mill when the market finally closed and moved. Now, if you went to visit the market when it was opened, you may have been served by a young lad. His name was Morris Micklewhite, and he went on, he changed his name. You may know him now as Sir Michael Caine. Now, next to that, that glass building, if anybody reads OK magazine, that is the headquarters for OK, that glass building there. I believe it's also the headquarters for the News of the World and the Sun as well.
Oh.
As we go further along, look just before London Bridge, there's a gap between the 2 buildings, okay? You can see 2 things in there. So keep looking, you can see a church, and you can see a tall column of golden ball on the top. Now the church is the Church of St. Magnus and Martha. The tall column is a monument to the Great Fire of London. Both of these designed by Sir Christopher Wren, and both of these built after the Great Fire of London. Now the Great Fire of London was very devastating for Londoners. It happened on the 2nd of September, 1666, and destroyed 80% of what is now the City of London. It starts in the baker's oven. Now, the monument was built so Londoners could climb to the top and they could see London being rebuilt around them, and they give them hope. You can now climb to the top of the monument. I was there last summer, and I'll tell you now, I'm actually still recovering from that trip. It's 311 steps to the top. They're skinny, spardy steps. There's no lift. I did up. So you have to climb to the top, but you get fantastic views of the capital when you get to the top. And when you get to the bottom, you get a certificate of achievement, which is always good fun. Now, they told us in school that the Great Fire of London killed out the plague. Now, this is not true, okay, because the last known case of the plague was in 60 and 65, a couple months before the Great Fire of London. See, what happened was Londoners thought that they'll be punished by God from the Great Fire of London, because you see, they thought they were punished for the sin of gluttony. The fire started in Pudding Lane, and it ended in Pie Corner, and the year of the fire was 666. They thought it was God punishing them. Now, this wasn't true. We know a young boy, he left a loaf of bread in the oven. So because of this, the authorities made up the story that the Great Fire of London killed the plague, just so that Londoners thought they wasn't all bad. We are coming, look to your left-hand side, just beyond this boat. You see that grey building in front of us? It's Winchester Wharf. Now, on this site once was notorious Clink Prison. Have you heard the expressions, we throw in the clink? Well, that is where it comes from. And this prison was known for its torturing of its prisoners run by the Bishop of Winchester. On this site now stands the Clink Museum, where you can see all those torture tools if you want to know more ghastly, gruesome side of London. Do head down to the Clink Prison, or the London Dungeons as well, which you'll find in the London Bridge area. So we're coming up to Camden Street Railway Bridge. Now, this bridge has to be probably the ugliest bridge across the River Thames. I have nothing nice about this bridge, so we'll just have a moment of silence as we go under this bridge. Now, folks, if you get too hot down here, the windows do slide open. So if you do want to open the window, feel free to slide them, because I can feel the heat and the smell. So, yeah, do open the windows if you so wish. Another name though, it's also known as the Lonely Bridge. So there's somebody else on the bridge. Give them a wave. Let's see if anyone waves back to you. They're on the wave back to us on Southwark Bridge. Is anybody on Southwark Bridge? That's the question. If you wave somebody on Southwark Bridge and they wave back to you, destined for a lifetime of loneliness. All the hands go down. No, they joking. No, of course it's not true. But it is one of the least used bridges in London. If you find yourself walking across this bridge, you are most possibly lost. They're not waving back. If you're trying to find his way home, bless him. He's been walking on this bridge for the last 2 hours. Throw him back. That might help him. Use Google out. Anyway, I like Southwark Bridge, though. I think it's a beautiful bridge to cross. If you do happen to find Southwark Bridge, definitely walk across it. It's absolutely a wonderful bridge. These gas lanterns are, yeah, they give it a real nice old feel to it in the dark. We are coming up to the Millennium Bridge. Now, do you guys know about the Millennium Bridge? There's lots of names. It's known as the Blade of Light, the Bridge of Lovers. But yes, you probably know it as the Wobbly Bridge, because this is a bridge that wobbled. Now, another Millennium project opened in the year 2000. And when it opened, 20,000 people turned up for the opening ceremony. This was 5 times more than what they expected. So these people walked across the bridge, and it started to wobble from side to side. It wobbled so badly, people being sick over the side of this bridge. Now, they had to close the bridge down a day and a half after opening. Can you imagine how embarrassing that must have been for Norman Foster? Norman Foster, the architect of Millennium Bridge, also the architect of City Hall and the Gherkin. So a reporter said to him before they went through that, I said, Norman, you built this bridge, it wobbles. Why do you build a wobbly bridge? Which he replied, it's not my bridge, it's not my design, it's the way you people in London walk. That's right, he blamed it on us Londoners. So they closed the bridge down for 18 months, opened it up again in 2002. Now when they opened it, the Sun newspaper, there's a pastry model across the bridge. So wearing a micro bikini holding a plate of jelly because they want to see what will wobble the most. It's a true story. There wasn't any wobbling, thankfully. The bridge had been fixed. But Norman Foster said he would throw himself off it if it ever wobbled again. Now, I believe people were queuing up for hours on end yesterday to see the Harry Potter movie, so we'll throw this in quickly. I don't know which movie it was. I think it might have been The Half-Blood Prince, where this bridge was blown up in that movie. If you've seen the Harry Potter. Also, on the note of Harry Potter, look to your right-hand side. You can see the school. It's City of London School for Boys. Daniel Radcliffe, star Harry Potter, he attended that school until he moved to Hogwarts. Now, if you do want to send your boys to this school, it would only fetch you about £12,000 a year, which I've been told is actually really cheap for a private school. 80% of the students at City of London School, they're free, they're on scholarship. And if you look in the middle, if you see this glass bit in the middle, as you go by, you'll see a nice view of St Paul's Cathedral through the middle. Now, there's a wall on the Thames, the St Paul's Bridge. And basically, there's no building to obstruct the view of St Paul's from the Thames. So when they built this thing, it was basically going to obstruct the view. So they kind of put this glass atrium in the middle just to kind of get away with that. Bit sneaky, but it's like magic as it goes by. Quite fab. So we're coming up to Alexandra Railway Bridge, the bridge in front of us. Now, this bridge is having a lot of work going on it. What they're doing is they're building a train station on top of the bridge. They're going to cover it with a glass roof, and this all should be done, I've been told, in time for the London Olympics, so it should be done by next year. Now, I say it should be, because these workmen, I'm yet to see them do any work. They just stand there and waving at us. I mean, yesterday, one of the guys, he had a sign up saying, add me on Facebook. A little Facebook login there. A week before that, another time, my colleague was on board, it said something rude, and I'll repeat what it said. But imagine you do go by, give them a wave, they do wave back to us, they're very friendly guys. But hopefully, if they stop and do some work, this bridge should be done in time for the Olympics next year. In the middle, though, you may have noticed some red columns. Now, these red columns used to be a bridge. And, yeah, used to be a bridge for the very first steam train across the River Thames. Now, what happened was when the new diesel trains came, it wasn't strong enough to carry it, so they built Alexandra Railway Bridge. Now, to get rid of these columns, they have to blow up with dynamite. If they did that, they'll end up blowing up a brand new bridge. So they painted them red, and they kind of hope nobody would notice them. So there they are, for all to see. What they're going to do then now is they're going to strengthen these columns, and they're going to build on them once again. They're going to put up, as far as I've been told, shops, restaurants, and apparently a cinema as well, on top of a bridge. That's pretty cool. This bridge in front of us is Blackfriars Road Bridge, a Victorian road bridge. And on it, you can see it's decorated birds found on the River Thames. Look on each side. These birds are saltwater birds. They're carved into the stone. The sea's about 40 miles behind us. On the other side is freshwater birds. Now, when the Victorians built this bridge, they thought this is where the Thames became tidal at this point. That means that the Thames, where the saltwater and the freshwater meet, they were off by about 10 miles. The Thames becomes tidal up in Teddington. But that is why those birds are carved into the stone. You've got the new old City of London School Boys on your right-hand side, above the green slopey roof, decorated with statues of 4 famous scholars, William Shakespeare, Isaac Newton, John Milton, and Francis Bacon. Next to that is a building that looks a bit like a church. That is the Old Theology Museum at Zion Hall. It used to have this collection, the oldest Bible ever printed in English. Also, if you see the movie Da Vinci Code, you may recognise this building because it wasn't used in some of the scenes before that movie. But let's go back to the Oxo Tower and the Oxo stock cube. So you know about the stock cubes, yes? And we know this is advertising now. This was built in the 1930s. It was more on the Thames, still on the Thames today. It cannot advertise on the Thames, it's a royal highway. So they're taken to court because they're blatantly advertising their company's product. But they told the judge, they said, we ordered 3 random geometric shapes. And they sent a circle, a cross, and the circle. A pure coincidence that it spells out our company's product. Of course, shapes and not letters. The judge has no choice but to let them get away with it. So there it is, Alexandra Oxo stock cubes. But the buildings have now been sold off to build Harvey Nichols. There are restaurants on top, apartments in the bottom, apartments in the middle, sorry, at the bottom you'll find shops, art galleries, and they subsidise the apartments. The apartments are low-rent apartments for key workers in London. We're coming alongside HMS President. This was used in both World Wars, so on the right-hand side. It's now a bar. Its officers are in there as well, and I think you do swing dances as well. President. On the right-hand side, just beyond that, is Temple and the Inns of Court. This area has been officers and lawyers barracks for over 900 years. These belong to Knights Templar. Because of its links to the Knights, it was used as well in the Da Vinci Code as well, in the book and the movie. This area was also used. Keep looking to your right-hand side, because you can't see these very well sometimes. Look, there's an archway in the water. See the archway? Just before the archway, look to your right on the pavement, and you should be able to see statues of silver griffins, or silver dragons, whatever you want to call them. And there's 2 of them. There's one there. I can see one there on the pavement. If you look through the trees, you should be able to see them. You only ever see one. Now these dragons, they're actually quite important. Can you see them as we go by? I'm quite low in the water there. You can see the top of it there. And what they do is they guard the City of London. Now, the City of London starts here at King Street Parkway, and it goes all the way down to the Tower of London. If you walk outside the Tower of London on the road, you'll see two more of those dragons. And it's 1 square mile. It's owned by, it's ruled, sorry, by the Lord Mayor of London. It's owned police force, owned sets of laws. We are now in the City of Westminster. Now, if the Queen were to leave the City of Westminster and enter into the City of London, she must first call up the Royal Mail, send them a text, or email him and ask for permission before she can enter in. She doesn't want to be out of the City of London the same as well. This is because they banned royalty in the City of London. It's still too meddling, so they banned them. The City of Westminster is known as the City of Royalty or the City of Government, not the palaces. You'll find them. These will still stand as used to stand in the City. On our right hand side we have lines of light. Somerset House with a green dome on the roof and the Union flag on the top. That you see is Public Records Office where the register birth, marriage and death in the world. And the workers here was nicknamed the Hatcham, Matcham and Satisfaction Department. It now has the Corporate Institute where you can do impressionists, the impressionist and post-impressionist artwork. During the winter you can do public ice skating. In the summer, actually in about 20 days or so, they put a screen up in the courtyard and you watch movies. They film before, they show movies there, so you can watch movies in the courtyard as far as their house. They tend to do it now because obviously it's warmer. I don't know, it can rain all day, but no, it's absolutely fab. You can go online and get some tickets now. And you can just visit the courtyard all the way around there, and you can see there's 55 jet fountain inside, and it's free of charge to walk around the courtyard of Somerset House. King's College University now has a campus inside Somerset House as well. Strand campus is there. We're coming up to Waterloo Bridge. Now, this bridge is also known as the Ladies' Bridge, the bridge in front of us, because it was built during the Second World War. Now, during this time, 80% of the workforce were made up of women, because we know the men know away fighting. Now, Waterloo Bridge is built with Portland stone, and Portland stone washes itself whenever it rains. It's kind of a chemical reaction with the rain. I don't know the science very well. I don't know how it works, but look at the outside. It's really clean. When you compare it to the underside, it's very dirty. Obviously, rain doesn't reach it. But today, it's been having quite a nice bath. Now, this is further proof this bridge is built by women, because I think only women can think of a self-cleaning bridge. So very practical like that. Then you've got Shell Met House to the right-hand side. There's a large clock face. Now that clock face there is the largest clock face in London. I think when they built it, they got a nice one inch of a concept because they decided to build it 1 inch bigger than the one at Big Ben. They had to make sure they were the largest in London. Not in the UK though. That's most of the other buildings. Cleopatra's Needle is also on our right-hand side, that large stone monument given to the British government 18 and 19 for their participation in the Battle of the Nile. It's over 3,500 years old. That stone is older than London itself. You'll find a twin in New York Central Park with a replica in Paris as well. The Sphinx on either side, you see them, were added by the Victorians, so they're facing the wrong way. They should be facing away from the monument to guard and protect it, but facing towards the monument by mistake. The Victorians put them there in 1882. So we're coming up to the Golden Jubilee Bridges and the Old Hungerford Railway Bridge. I'll look to your right-hand side. See where the train is going into the train station. There's a building on top of the train, a glass building of bits jutting out from the side. Have a look at that building, because this building on our right-hand side is supposed to look like something. So keep looking. Can anybody guess what this building is supposed to look like? Anyone guess? Shout your answers out if you know. No. It's supposed to look like a train coming out of an archway onto the track below. Hands in the air, guys. You can see that. One person, okay. No, to me it kind of looks like a coaster. Or a jukebox. On the last crew that did, it looks like a transformer. We also had Batman's helmet as well. If you see the movie Bridget Jones' Diary, now all the opposite scenes between Renee and Hugh, where they were keeping some of those talking, that was filmed inside that building owned by PricewaterhouseCoopers, 6 offices. That company guy owned that one. Wow, this wind is not doing anything for my head. Once again, headed downstairs. You girls are brave, is what I can say. So, as we come through the bridge, look to your right-hand side, we have the Whitehall Court. Now, this used to be the headquarters for the 19th century Liberal Party, whose most famous Prime Minister was William Gladstone. When he died, his body was made his funeral on the tube, because it was not more glamorous back then. A palace once stood here as well, the Henry and Bruce given to down from the palace in Westminster. That unfortunately burned down. Then we have the Ministry of Defence, the MOD on our right side, with the green and white roofs. Now, this building is known as London's Ice House. is old Scotland Yard. The red building with the white stripe. Used to be the headquarters of the Metropolitan Police Force until they moved. The new Scotland Yard just a couple of streets down. A palace stood here as well, where visiting royal families from Scotland would stay. That is where Scotland Yard comes from. Hang on your right, there was a funny black building.